Chapters, Jen here with not really a book review, but kind of just a question more than anything. So this is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and it's a dark, loosely based Little Mermaid retelling. And I was having a really hard time with this book. I did not like Lyra, who is the main female protagonist, and there's other chapters that are Elion, which is the prince, who's also like a siren hunter, because sirens like kill princes and keep hearts and things like that. And there's different kingdoms within this book. I got about 120 pages in, and I finally decided that I just had to DNF this book. So this video is kind of more about DNFing books, and do you DNF books or do you just push through? I used to always push through when I didn't really like a book because I felt like I was a failure if I didn't. But when you have like 350 books or so that you want to try and read, I guess you start to wonder if you have time to push through books. Like when a book, I started this book in April, I think. May, maybe? I can't remember when I started it, and I just like DNF'd it at the, I think, beginning of this month, and I just like wasn't looking forward to reading it. Really, I liked Elion's chapters. They're both written in first person, which is can be kind of difficult sometimes when you're flipping between characters and it's first person. But Elion was pretty funny, and I really liked him, so if the whole book was from his perspective, I may have actually enjoyed it more. Lyra was just really, really melodramatic to me, and the best way I can describe her is like an emo siren, because there's just no other way. Like descriptions like, the deck of the ship was black like my soul, and I was kind of like, girl, please. And I can only handle that like so much, and it was just, I was just not feeling it. I've heard really good things about this book, and it has really good ratings, but when I posted on my Instagram stories I was having a hard time with it, other people said the same thing, that they didn't like Lyra and they had a hard time with it, or they only got a few pages in and were like, yeah, I'm not into this. So I think I can count on one hand how many books I've DNF'd, and I think the forcing myself to read them, I was always in honors English and stuff, and then I was an English major in college, so I'm used to forcing myself to have to read something. And I feel like guilty that I didn't give a book a chance if I don't finish reading it. So I guess I was just wondering, does anyone else have guilt about DNFing? I've kind of posed this question on Instagram before. I'm not sure how much of the audience overlaps between YouTube and Instagram. Did you read To Kill a Kingdom and really love it, or really not like it, or didn't finish it either? I don't think I'll probably ever give this book a chance. It did come in a book box, and I was actually really excited for it. And part of it also could be a not feeling fantasy. Like, I've tried to give fantasy the good old college try, and it's just not, I never was into high fantasy, and I knew that. I love magical realism. I love urban fantasy, like Holly Black and Melissa Marr are like my jam. Love Maggie Stiefvater. I love Harry Potter, of course, which I don't really consider Harry Potter fantasy. I consider it magical realism, I guess. Or, yeah, I don't know if it would be urban fantasy at all, but I love that kind of stuff. But this just was not like, and if I can't attach to a character and it's one of the main characters, like, I pretty much don't enjoy a book. And oftentimes if I really don't like a book, I don't really review it, because I just feel, I don't know, as a fellow author, I just don't want to do that, I guess. So like I said, I really liked Elion in this book, and if all the chapters were from his perspective, I may have stuck with it. So this book really isn't, or this video really isn't so much a book review. I obviously DNF'd it, so I don't feel I can even give a fair review of it. I can just say why I stopped reading it. But really, I'm just curious, like, some people I know totally DNF and are just like, whatever, too many books, too little time, I don't care. If I don't like it within so many pages, I'm not sticking with it. And then other people are like, even if I don't like it, I will push through because I'm either OCD or feel like a failure or whatever. So, but if a book is taking me, and I only read one book at a time, so if a book is taking me a month to read, then that's a month I'm spending not reading anything else. So, I don't know. DNF, do you do it? Do you not do it? Why or why not? In the meanwhile, happy reading.